Nike just released a brand new commercial featuring Caitlin Clark and her new Kobe shoe that she released today. And I saw this commercial yesterday on social media. I thought it was so cool. There's a shot when she's in the locker room and she opens her eye and it like turns into what looks like a snake eye, but when you zoom in, it's actually the...
Nike just executed the ultimate corporate curveball, and A'ja Wilson is fuming. After years of sinking millions into building Wilson's brand, all while Caitlin Clark lit up the internet every time she so much as touched a basketball, Nike finally snapped out of it and faced a hard dose of reality.
Nike finally delivers Caitlin Clark PE. Is this the first Caitlin Clark exclusive Nike commercial since she's entered the WNBA? I know she's made a cameo here, she's made a cameo there, she was featured as part of this rollout here, featured as part of this rollout there, but is this our first official Caitlin Clark solo commercial since she has joined the
They've been backing the wrong horse all along. Now that Nike's pivoting toward the woman who actually sells out shelves, A'ja's in total meltdown mode. But make no mistake, this isn't just about sneakers. It's about Nike finally owning up to the fact that they've been playing favorites with an athlete whose shoes gather more dust than clicks, while Clark's gear sends their site into meltdown mode faster than a dial-up modem in 2025.
And Nike are officially dropping Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever player-exclusive Kobe 5s in just a couple weeks. So this shoe was first seen being worn by Caitlin and was thought to be a colorway made just for her up until just a couple days ago, where Nike's official images of the shoes got leaked and the announcement was made saying that everyone will now...
Let's get into the numbers, because math doesn't sugarcoat reality, even when your pride wishes it would. A'ja Wilson's Nike A1s? Yeah, they sold out in 5 minutes this past May. Sounds big until you realize Nike only dropped a tiny batch, manufacturing hype through artificial scarcity. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark launches a code call-out, and 13,000 pairs disappear in mere minutes. Not 5. Just minutes. That's the difference between curated buzz and unstoppable demand.
I don't think I'd be in the wrong to say Caitlin Clark's Kobe is the sneaker of the week, and everyone's focus is mostly on this one. If you really wanted that shoe, I hope you put your footwork in, because there's supposedly only 13,000 pairs on Sneakers App tomorrow. Combine that with a really high resale value, I expect this shoe to be a relatively difficult call. But my hope seriously is that with Caitlin Clark's sneaker coming out, that this sets a precedent and we might see other exclusive player edition Kobe's drop.
The Nike website didn't just slow down. It outright waved the white flag to the Caitlin Clark faithful. Resale prices skyrocketed instantly, hitting $350 to $600 on the secondary market. When Clark's gear drops, it doesn't merely sell out. It sparks a feeding frenzy that makes Black Friday look like a sleepy neighborhood garage.
These things is some fire. I'm telling you, where there's smoke, there is fire, and these things is hitting so hard. And who got a bot? Who a shoe plug? Because I need 2 pairs. I need one for the sneaker wall, and I need one for my feet, because these things is hitting right here, and no, I don't want to pay $600 on.
But here's where it gets spicy. Nike poured 2 whole years into crafting A'ja's signature line, rolling out the red carpet with the full princess package, custom logos, personal design sessions, the entire royal treatment. They even let her weave in Celtic symbols for her parents, quotes from her grandmother, and enough intimate details to turn those sneakers into a family scrapbook on laces.
I lost all respect for A'ja Wilson. I don't want to hear her opinions. I don't care what she has to say from this point on. When you keep a Nike deal 2 years in secret while you're spewing all that crazy stuff about Caitlin Clark in the Time magazine, read it. Read what she said in the Time magazine. Yet you had a Nike deal the whole entire time.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is still waiting on her actual signature shoe, lacing up Coke hand-me-downs that outsell Wilson's custom masterpieces by margins that would make a statistician weep. Nike handed Wilson everything on a silver platter. Every detail she dreamed of, and then some. Yet somehow, Clark's so-called leftovers stir up more hype than Wilson's meticulously curated brand ever could.
So it's finally here. Caitlin Clark sneakers from Nike is finally dropping. She was signed to them last year, and the sneakers is a year late in my opinion, but nonetheless I'm excited because these sneakers is finally coming out. But what does annoy me a little bit is that this is a collaboration with Kobe. Now, Kobe, respect to Kobe, legend, rest in peace, great basketball player. But in my opinion, Caitlin Clark is a big enough star and she's creating her own legacy. So I feel like, at least for her first sneaker, it shouldn't be a collaboration with any other player, dead or alive, in my opinion. I feel like Caitlin should have, for her first shoe, had her own original design just for her.
If you're enjoying this, make sure to subscribe. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. A'ja Wilson's me first mentality. She's been campaigning for attention like she's running for president of basketball. She got her signature shoe, her mysterious custom logo, translation. Nobody actually knows what it means, and even Nike commercials directed by Nadia Obama. It still acts like the world's in her debt. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark just shows up, plays ball, and effortlessly becomes the most marketable athlete Nike's had since Michael Jordan. Wilson's out here demanding respect, while Clark's out there earning it, crashing websites and packing arenas without even trying.
All this was done while the shoes being developed, while the collection's being done. To demonize Caitlin Clark and try to label her as a privileged white girl that's getting all the privileges, even though she earned everything she got. This ain't about color. This is about good and bad. And I find this a little evil. I find this evil. This is beyond bad, because you had the ability to speak up and say, hey, everybody, relax. Don't get on Caitlin Clark. She got a shoe deal. That's cool. I got one too. Mine's taking a little bit, but it's going to come out. Just be patient. She could have came out and said that, but...
The funniest part? Nike actually tried to make this work. They handed Wilson a $20 million plus contract extension, built entire marketing campaigns around her diamond in the rough persona, and pushed her story harder than a used car salesman chasing quota. But you can't manufacture what Caitlin Clark has effortlessly. Clark inked her 8-year, $28 million deal and instantly became Meg's crown jewel without them lifting a finger. Every time she steps on the court in Nike gear, it's millions in free advertising. Meanwhile, Wilson needs production crews, scripts, and carefully spun narratives to stay in the conversation. Clark, she just needs to show up.
Nike did not fumble Caitlin Clark. It takes years and years of research and development and building and designing and trialing and erroring to build a custom shoe line. Caitlin Clark has played in only Kobe 5s and Kobe 6s almost exclusively for like the last 3 or 4 years. If they are building a shoe for Caitlin Clark, that Caitlin Clark is going to wear, that she's going to sell, that she's going to give away to her teammates, to her fans, to whomever, it has to be as good as, if not better, than the Kobe 5 or 6. And there's new Kobe variants out and she doesn't wear them. She signed a $28 million 10-year contract with Nike. Year 2. We're in year 2 of that. The shoes are coming. They have to design them. It takes several years for this to happen. We're not just doing a colorway like Paige.
Let's talk market impact, where Wilson's illusions meet hard facts. Caitlin Clark generated about $82.5 million in economic impact for Iowa alone. That's one player, one state, and no typo. Her influence stretches far beyond basketball into cultural territory. Meanwhile, Nike was too busy trying to make A'ja Wilson the next big thing, missing the fact that they had the female Michael Jordan right in front of them. The signs were there from the start, but Nike seemed more focused on checking social boxes than seeing reality. It even took former Nike basketball marketing director Jordan Rogers publicly calling them out for ignoring Clark. A former insider had to embarrass them into recognizing what was obvious to everyone else. Clark was the golden goose they kept sidelined while pushing another story. Nike stock hit a 5-year low during all this, while they bet on Wilson instead of embracing the real face of women's basketball.
Your stock price since 2021, it is down nearly 60%. Your executives and the people who are making these decisions, their stock options are worthless. Meanwhile, you have the single biggest needle mover in all of American sports since Michael Jordan, and you have somehow convinced yourself that you need to slow play this. Let me show you Google Trends search traffic for 4 female basketball players. There is one who only rivals Caitlin Clark, and that is Angel Reese, and you do not have her. She is over at Reebok. I am so confused as to how you would be so invested in the WNBA for several years, and you have been doing great work to try to elevate and uplift that league and many of the athletes there, but this seems like you have convinced yourself that this needs to be an either-or conversation. And we never have an either-or conversation in the men's sports. You have like 10 signature athletes. Half of them don't deserve a signature.
I felt like across the board, this commercial was a 10 for 10. And a lot of people have been getting on Nike because they don't feel like they have been promoting Caitlyn as much as they should. But I will say we have to give credit where credit is due. I feel like in the past month or so, they have been tweeting about Caitlyn more. And then obviously with this shoe release, they made this super sick commercial to promote it. And of course, just today, Caitlyn Clark's new Kobe PE shoe sold out in less than a minute. And I saw so many tweets about this, so many people who were so sad that they missed out on this shoe. I saw that there was this one Dick's store and people were lined up around the corner, like camping out, trying to get